Hey guys, I'm shooting this on the ZV-E1 right now, but I'm going to be checking out the Fujifilm X-M5 and letting you know my thoughts on this bad boy. This is not sponsored. I paid my own money for these things. I'm going to compare it with the ZV-E10 Mark II and with the ZV-E1 right here, just so you can at least see what this is. Full frame, 30 frames per second, 1.8, 55 millimeter lens on there. On the Fujifilm, I'm going to be using the 1.7 Viltrox, 25 millimeter. So you get about 40 millimeter equivalent-ish length. And then with the Sigma, with the Sony ZV-E10, with the Sony ZV-E10, I'm going to be putting the 1.8 35 millimeter on that. So it'll be somewhat equivalent. And we can see that, hey, is one going to be a lot better than the other? Can you really tell the difference? What about this color science stuff? I'm running this on an S-Cinetone, and the Fujifilm is going to be on Eterna. Okay, so we can kind of get an idea of full frame. Plus, I guess you could say the direct competitor of the X-M5 would be this ZV-E10 Mark II. So I'm going to compete these bad boys together, and you can let me know what you think. The price is a couple $100 difference. But now you can get this E10 used. This is harder to find. I got this for about $850 with the lens, so I got a good deal on it. But the E10 you can get $100 used, so you can get them for about the same price, and you can get them in basically like new open box condition, so warranty and everything. So pretty much almost apples to apples if you look at the price. But which one is right for you? Well, let's dive into this review and see what's going on. And you let me know in the comments below which camera is going to work better for you. All right, guys, I'm on the ZV-E10 right now. So this is the 35 millimeter 1.8. Seeing what this looks like. We're going to compare this with the Fuji X-M5. It'll be close enough to where we can get a gauge. This is S-Cinetone here on the Sony ZV-E10. And I'll also show you some vlog footage as well, so you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like. The difference, vlogging-wise, though, the reason why the E10 II would be a better option, I believe, for the vlogging portion, is that if you wanted to, you could use Catalyst Browse. And you could just leave the stabilization off or on or whatever, and just don't, as long as you don't use it digital so it crops in, right? But if you have a lens that has stab, you can, but either way, you can leave it off, leave the shutter speed a little higher, and you can run it through Catalyst Browse. You can't do that on the XM5, but you know, neither one are perfect vlogging cameras, you know, but it is what it is. But as far as video quality, basically almost straight out of camera here, this is what you get from the Sony ZV-E10 II. What I like about the Sony, obviously, is the autofocus. Autofocus is always good on Sonys. You never have to worry about it. They're known for that. Also, the ZV-10 has the upgraded battery, the newer batteries that the full frame cameras have. So you'll get a lot longer runtime on this than you will the Fujifilm X-M5. Some people don't care about that. Buy some extra batteries for the Fuji, whatever. That's fine. But that is kind of handy that you'll that you'll be able to have longer runtime. I'm pretty sure you're going to see not a whole lot of difference. There's going to be a little bit of difference of color, and I got to be honest with you. I think the Fujifilm colors a little bit are better straight out of camera. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Just straight out of camera, I think the Fuji on the Eterna Cinema versus like the S-Cinetone, because it's kind of their version of it. It's just something about their Fuji sensor. They're different than all the other sensors the APS-C cameras have. So there's just a little different color rendition through the way it's gone through their sensor. But anyways, it is a little different, but it's not something you can't correct, like easily. You don't even have to shoot and log, right? This is straight out of S-Cinetone, because I want to try to make this as easy as possible. Somebody getting one of these cameras, they're getting in, they're probably not veterans, 20-year veterans. Well, they might be, but for the most part, it's people who are getting in, wanting something better than their smartphone, that they can get good quality results and start a channel. So they're not going to start with log, but eventually if they do log, then they can color grade it, make it look however they want. But out of camera, push record, S-Cinetone, here it is. And we will go ahead and put it on the XM5, and I'll give you my thoughts on that. And we'll check out some other comparisons too. Here we go. All right, guys, now we are on the X-M5 and the Eterna Cinema, straight out of camera. How does this look? A couple things I like about the X-M5. I'll go through the likes and then go through the dislikes. I like that there's a tally lamp, and you can set it up tally lamp on the back and the front on the X-M5. So that's a great thing. One thing I do like about the Fujifilm is you can do open gate. So you can adjust the, 9x16 or 16x19. It gives you a little more area. So you got a 6K sensor. You use the full width of the sensor. So you can't do that on the ZV-E10. I also like the headphone jack, which is on the very back, so it doesn't get in the way. I can see the full screen, which is kind of handy, so you don't have the wire hanging out. So that's a cool thing. The E10 will generally go like 4K 24. You shouldn't have any problems on battery, but when you plug USB-C power into it, then it goes for about 49 to 50 minutes-ish on a general room. So if you have plug powered into it, it's not going to be great for like live streaming and things like that. Whereas the XM5, generally there's no overheating as long as you don't go to like 4K 60 and stuff. But if you get like 4K 24 or for streaming, you can plug the USB-C into it and it'll continue to run for the most part. It'll get hot, but it won't shut off on you. So that's a plus too. For a little camera, it's a powerhouse. It really is. I do like the color profiles, which is pretty nice. This is Eterna right here. And there's, some other ones that are you just move it. For a beginner, it's really cool. They got the dial. If more Fujifilm experienced people, they probably don't care about the dial because they just don't. They got their own thing as far as color grading and all that, and their own LUTs or whatever. But for a new user, it's great because you can just switch it and you go from monochrome to Eterna to classic neg or whatever, and you can kind of see which one you like. And I like the Eterna one because it's kind of like acetone. If you want to add or subtract anything from it, it's a little more of a neutral color, and I just like it. It's more filmic. Also, the compact size of it is wonderful. The only problem is when you put a lens on it. To combat that, for a lens, I got the .8 TT Artisans 28 millimeter, and this lens, guys, is pretty good. I mean, it's really good. And actually, I was going to say the lens options on Sony are better, and you do have more. But quite honestly, now that Fujifilm is open to Viltrox, guys, this is a 25 millimeter 1.7 on here, okay, from Viltrox. And look at this autofocus. Right? I mean, in good lighting, I mean, it is as good as a native Fuji lens, as the kit lens, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'm going to tell you, Fujifilm's autofocus is not as good as Sony or Canon. I'll tell you that right now. So if you want the best autofocus, don't get the Fujifilm. But if you're going to do talking heads and for general purposes, as long as you don't have a lot of people in the frame, really backlit situations, that's where this kind of has an issue. Like if I had a really bright light in the back, it might have some issues. But for the most part, and this Viltrox lens is amazing. I think I paid $30, $120. It's a great, I mean, look at, you're seeing the results, guys, right? Right? I mean, it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. And like I said, it ain't Sony level, okay? I ain't trying to hype this up. Guys, it is not Sony Canon level. But it's adequate, okay? It's better than I thought it was going to be, honestly. Because everyone's like, oh, it's Fujifilm autofocus. It's complete trash. And yes, it is not the best, okay? But it's adequate. If you're going to use it for this, that's fine. Photography, I'm not a photographer, so I can't really speak on that much. I took a few photos with it. Colors are great. It is what it is. Okay, and that leads to the mechanical shutter. So if you're into photography, it's probably a better option for the Fujifilm than the E10 here, too, because that has a mechanical shutter. And you're not getting into the details of all that, but that's generally better for photography. Those are my likes on the XM5. That's what I do like. The problem with the small compact size, which is a plus, the minus of it is, you still got to put a lens on it. So like if you don't have something like this, a little pancake lens, you know, it's going to be still hard to stick in a pocket if you got a lens that's that long and the camera's only that thick. So it's easy to kind of overweight it, you know, to counterbalance, to overweight the balance of the camera. So it's not as compact as like a point and shoot, but still it's much more compact than a bigger full frame, like an A7 IV, something like that, a Z6 III or whatever. So, but it also leads, that's the negative part. It's compact. Size leads to the button placements. And I got big hands. So for me, it's kind of a pain. Sometimes I'll hit the buttons, you know, and I don't want to. And, but, you know, it is what it is. If you got smaller hands, that's fine, you know. But I absolutely recommend, if you get the X-M5, get the grip for it. It's like $40. Get the grip. Huge difference. It made it usable, and it's grown on me now. So that's what I like about the X-M5. And what my dislike, so I don't have a whole lot of dislikes on this camera. It's really, I mean, quite honestly, if you're not in a system anymore, what camera do you choose, right? Well, let's look at the Sony ZV-E10. What's good about that compared to this? If you're looking at under $1,000 and you want just APS-C to get in, that you're going to be able to do your stuff and not have to worry about it. Look at the ZV-E10 II. So battery, that's a plus for the Sony ZV-E10 II. It's got the larger battery on it, so it's definitely a better deal for that. To go a lot longer. The X-M5 has a smaller battery, so that's the dislike on the X-M5 is a smaller battery. But if you've got a couple extra in your pocket, who cares? You swap them, you're done. Lens options are still better on the APS-C on the Sony. Not as much as a couple of years back, but still they got everyone under the sun making lenses for them. So you got so many lenses options, it blows your mind. But now Fuji's got Viltrox and stuff, and they're coming out with some bangers, guys. I was never a Viltrox third-party kind of guy, but their newer ones, they're good, guys. They're good for the price. I mean, could you tell? I mean, honestly, let's be honest. If you want to be snobber about it, you know, if you're talking about a cheap camera, cheap lenses are okay, guys. You're gonna put a $3,000 lens on a $700, $800 camera. I mean, come on. Autofocus. Again, I mentioned that Sony's top of the line, autofocus. It is better. In every way, it's better. Okay? That's all there is to it. But X-M5 is fine. It works good. The touchscreen definitely is better on the E10 II as far as, I mean, there's a vlog mode where the touch stuff comes up, but the E10 II's touchscreen is far better. Like if you have that folded out, you can, you know, ISO, the aperture, everything is just so much easier. Just done. So, like those sound effects. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's better. Touchscreen. And the grip, obviously. The E10 II has a much bigger grip than the X-M5 does. Okay, so that is faux show. Even after you add the grip on the X-M5, it's still a little smaller than the E10 II. So, and this is still compact. It's a little bigger, but it's not that much bigger. But again, you got to still put a lens on it. And they make that same TT Artisan lens you could put on the ZV-E10 body, and they're going to be pretty close to the same size anyways. So that's not the major factor because this is pretty condensed as it is. Obviously much smaller than the E10 or the E1 compared. All right, this is the E10 II, and this is the E1. So obviously you can tell there is a difference between these two. So overall, what do I think about the X-M5? It's a nice camera. I'm trying to figure out where it fits in my flow though, only because if I was just starting out, I mean, it would do everything I needed to do. Okay, guys? I'll put up some cell phone footage real quick. So if you're just looking at a channel, this is bottom line. If you're looking at starting your channel, you want a YouTube channel, just use whatever you got. It doesn't matter, guys. It will not matter. Just make sure your audio is decent. If that's what you got and your video is going to be somewhat decent and it's not totally crazy shaky, then you're good. If all you got is your phone, use your phone. That's what I'm using today. Ultra S25, just using my phone. I don't have my camera with me today. I kind of lost the whole comparison they're all so good. There's not really much difference between any of them. Oh, you know, you can nitpick dynamic range and this and that. And this one has slightly better audio with a 32-bit. Nobody knows. On YouTube, trust me. Once I upload this stuff, you would not be able to tell the difference. I can put this thing side by side, set them up with the right camera lens. You will not know the difference. You just won't. And I'm on a phone right now, right? Shooting 8K on my 24 Ultra. They all have their own little quirks and stuff. They're just fun to play with for a little bit. But then it's like anything. The glamour loses its luster, and you're looking for the next best thing. Fuji X-M5. It's a good camera. If you don't have one, it's a great starting point for the money you pay, and it works well. I mean, I would recommend it if that's what you want. So you can use anything. The X-M5, if you can get it for the retail price, it's a good deal. Okay, it just is. It's a good deal. 6K open gate, all that stuff. I mean, it's a pretty good deal. E10 II, that's good too, because then you're buying a new system. If you ever want to go into full frame, then you kind of will know the Sony system and you'll get used to it, and you can just buy some full frame lenses for it if you want. So if you do upgrade to the full frame, you'll already have the lenses. There's no real upgrade path for Fuji. As long as you're cool with Fuji and the APS-C line, then you're good. You won't have to worry about it, because they don't do full frame. You have to go up to medium format. That's way expensive. But also getting kind of in this close category now is like the Canon R8, but still it's going to be a little more. So, you know, or you could go, you can always spend more and get more, guys, right? But if you're talking about sub 1,000 MSRP, these two cameras are the ones to look at, in my opinion. Unless you want to go use, you might be able to find a deal, whatever. Let's just stick with what we got here. Out of these two cameras, if these are what you're weighing, I'm more of the Sony guy, so I'd probably go with the Sony, although this is growing on me because I do like it. The colors are nice. It does work. And if I wanted an open gate, I'd have that option. And when I first started using it and learning it, I wouldn't have recommended it over the Sony, but now it's kind of neck and neck. But if autofocus is your main concern, I probably would go with the Sony. But for me, in my workflow, though, I really don't have a need for it. Two APS-C cameras. So I might keep it for comparison stuff, but I don't really know where I'm going to use it, because I got the Z6 III, I got the R8, I got the E1. So, and a Panasonic S5 II. And out of all of them, I think the S5 II is, I mean, it's all arounder. It's just it's a beast. It's the price. You know, if you're willing to pay used, you can get one for like $1,200-1,300 probably, right? That's what I paid, like 12 something for mine. So for $300 more, I mean, you get 6K open gate, full frame, all that stuff. But if you're just, you know, starting out and you want to test the waters, you can go with the Canon R50V, guys. But it's the newer Canon one. The video's not going to be as good as what's on X-M5. It's just not. They have a 1.6 crop, so you're going to lose a little bit there. And the colors on Canon are pretty good though, but you're not going to get the dynamic range and stuff you are out of these two cameras on that one. And the good thing about the X-M5 is it has a different sensor, right, than the other ones. So they make their own sensors, right? And I don't know all the intricacies. I don't claim to, but I'm telling you that they're made a little different, so they do have a little bit different color rendition and stuff. So it can give you different character, I guess you could say, a little bit. If you do log, then you can make it almost however you want anyway. But straight out of camera, I'm about convenience, and I want to get it out, use it, put it up as fast as I can. I don't want to spend a lot of time color grading. If that's you, X-M5 is good. You know, I think it's a good buy for the price. It really is. I'm not a shill. I don't care. I have no skin in the game. If you get either one, I think you'd be okay. But if you want something with IBIS, and IBIS, it doesn't matter. I'll be completely honest with you. There's no APS-C camera right now out that you're going to get and you're going to be happy with vlogging with it. I'm making that right now. People say, oh, yeah, you know, the 6700, the IBIS. No, that's okay for photography, guys, but it is not good for vlogging. If you want to vlog, you know, with a camera a little more than a smartphone quality, a Pocket 3 is a good deal.
All right, so we got the Osmo Pocket 3 here, guys. This is a good vlogging setup right here because it's small, it's compact, and it does what you need it to do. And you don't have to worry about the jitters that you get with the APS-C camera. So you can match this if this is the walk and talk thing you do, but you can vlog with the other APS-C or the full frame ones. This is Panasonic. Panasonic, you can vlog with those. Stabilization is awesome. Any of the other ones, you can't. I don't care other people say, oh, the IBIS is, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Just to show you a quick little test, this is the X-M5 with the stabilization on, the digital stabilization. So this is the best as you're going to get. Now, obviously, I'm not being super careful with it, but I don't want to be. I don't want to walk around and have to, walk tiptoe. If you're going to walk with it, then walk with it, right? And you can do that with the Pocket 3, as you can see. But this is the X-M5, just to show you. I mean, I guess I have a different standard as far as stabilization goes, and I'm just not happy with it. So just wanted to give you a show.
It's caca. If you want pretty good stable footage, this is the way to go. And you can see the quality is there. It's got pretty good dynamic range as well. For the most part, it'll take care of you. But use what you got. You can use your phone, you can use Pocket 3. And this one, too, you can also put the tripod on it, which I did not bring with me, unfortunately. But you can put the tripod on it, and they have the zoom mode on it now, to where it's like a cropless zoom, to where it'll go into like a 40 millimeter without losing too much resolution, instead of like if you crop and post. So we'll go ahead and we'll give that a test, and we'll see what that looks like. There we go, guys. We are zoomed in now, and this is the zoomed in. So this is more like a 40, close to a 40 millimeter, but it's more lossless. So you're going to lose less quality. Now, obviously, this is pretty close. I could set it up further away from me, but I didn't bring my tripod, my little tripod with me. I just wanted to do a quick test on this. But again, there's no active track in this, but that's fine because you set up a tripod, and you can use this like a regular camera, like a talking head, and it gives you that little bit better frame of view that you would like. And then you can't change into this though while you're recording. You have to stop recording, and then you can swap it back out to the smaller one. So there we go. And so the active track doesn't work in this, but that's fine because you just center yourself in the frame, and it'll stay there. And then you just do your talking head on it like you normally would. Hi, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And then you're good to go. And then you just stop recording, and then you can go back into the regular mode. And we're back in the regular mode. And there you go. There's the Pocket 3's zoomless crop. So that's, this is a banger of a little camera too. For the price, it's hard to beat as long as you don't have to pay the $900 now. But it'll go back down, and the tariff thing's worked out for the next 90 days or plus or whatever. But anyway, this is straight out of the camera. Normal color profile. You get what you get, you don't throw a fit. And it's 10-bit, so you can still color grade it. And it's auto, so you ain't got to mess with it. You turn it on, you get your settings the way you want them, which isn't much. But I didn't do nothing. This is basically straight out of the camera. I reset the settings. You can see it comes straight out like this. So if you're happy with this, then you'll know what you get. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. It's a little windy out here. Hopefully it's coming through good. But all right, guys, this is the Pocket 3. You can kind of compare that to the other two, the APS-Cs, and you'll see that this is why this is a popular camera, guys. Because for this kind of thing, this is the one to have. And now with that new cropless zoom, you can put it on a tripod, and you can still use it as out here, as your travel, talking head camera. And then just have your APS-C one in the studio where it's darker. I mean, the sensor's not quite as big, so APS-C and the full frame are better in studio. But out here in the light, this is a great way to go. All right, back to the other me.
But if I know I wanted an upgrade path into something greater at some point, then I'd go with the Sony. Because you're really not going to lose too much if you go with the Sony. You're really not. And then you know the menus, and it'd be an easier transition. But I just wanted to compare these, get these up so you can see them. You can weigh the options of them, and you can't go wrong either way. Whatever better deal you can get, if you can get an awesome deal on one or the other, that's probably what I'd do. Go for one of those. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below which one you would choose and why. Let's get that discussion going because I'm curious. I want to know your thoughts because this is my first time in the Fuji. And at first, I didn't really care for it much, but it's kind of growing on me because my hands were too big. But I got the grip. I'm starting to use it a little more. I got used to the menus. It's kind of growing on me. Menus are finicky. I'm not happy about that, but the colors are good and it looks good, as you can see. For the price, I can't complain. You can't complain, guys. 6K open gate and a price sub $1,000 camera. Just wanted to give you an example of this open gate here. This is kind of a cool feature, right? Like I was saying. So you can 6K open gate here. So you obviously now you can see my microphone and you can see up higher, right? So now you have a little more area with a 6K. So I can crop this up or down however I want. So I can crop this microphone right out if I so choose. So obviously this can be a good thing if you're into that. It's not too big of a deal in software. You can just crop it, boom, and be done with it. But this is open gate, and it gives you that extra option. So I guess if that's your thing, and then that's definitely the option because the E10 II does not have it, and no other APS-C camera below this has it either. So guys, a little update on the overheating test. I'm in a warm room right now. I'm in an 80-degree room right now because I wanted to test this out. And I am getting an overheat warning using it for about a half hour. It hasn't shut off on me, but just so you know, depending on how warm your environment is, it will still overheat. So if that's your main concern, I wouldn't say that the X-M5 is 100% better than the E10 II on overheating. I heard it is on the other tests, but it still has the proclivity to overheat. So don't think that it can't ever. It's a small camera, guys, right? But if again, you can put a small fan on it and you don't have to worry about it. I've shown that in a video, and I'm not talking about one of these, little fans, which you can get, for Sony's and stuff. Fuji, you can actually attach their fan on the back of this, and then it'll go forever. But those are expensive. You just have a little 8-inch fan blowing on it. As long as there's airflow, it won't overheat. No matter what camera you got, it doesn't matter. If you put a little fan like that, it won't overheat. That's just a quick little, you have a $10 Walmart fan and you're good to go if you want to use it for things like that. But anyways, just want to throw that in because I don't want to mislead you in any way. I just wanted to update that as far as the overheating on the X-M5. So because I was running it in open gate and stuff. So obviously it's going to use a little more heat. But anyways, all right, guys, we'll talk to you guys later. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.